What if the streets of Chicago birthed a kingdom not of gold, but of blood and iron fists? A empire where loyalty was etched in tattoos and betrayal paid in bullets? Imagine a brotherhood forged in the fires of oppression, twisting from protectors of the marginalized into predators, devouring their own communities. For over 7 decades, this isn't fiction. It's the Latin Kings, the sprawling Hispanic gang that clawed its way from windy city alleys to a nationwide syndicate of fear. As an investigative journalist who sifted through declassified FBI dossiers, shadowed ex-members in dimly lit safe houses, and pieced together the puzzle of their ironclad codes, I'm dragging you into the underbelly. This is no mere gang tale. It's a detective's odyssey through ambition's dark heart, where crowns conceal the carnage. The birth in the shadows, forging a crown from chains. It all ignited in the gritty haze of 1950s Chicago, where Puerto Rican immigrants huddled in overcrowded tenements, facing the raw lash of discrimination, jobs denied, cops brutal, streets a gauntlet of rival Irish and Italian mobs. Enter the Latin Kings, born in 1954 as the Latin King Nation, a defiant alliance of young Puerto Rican men rallying under the banner of self-protection and cultural pride. Their founders, a crew of visionaries like King Papo, real name Gustavo Colon, and others fresh from the island, dreamed big. An organization to combat the oppressive government, uplift Hispanics through community power, and stand tall against the white gangs dominating Humboldt Park. Sensational twist? They started as a social club, hosting dances and baseball games, their five-pointed crown symbol, a nod to unity, love, respect, knowledge, and sacrifice, inked in black and gold as a badge of honor. But the streets are a cruel teacher. By the 1960s, idealism curdled into iron rule. Early clashes with rivals like the Spanish Cobras turned playground beefs into body counts, with drive-bys and stabbings painting Chicago red. Colon, rising as Lord Gino, imposed a military-like hierarchy. Inca, chapter leaders, cacique, enforcers, and the rank-and-file soldiers, all swearing oaths in candlelit ceremonies where a single betrayal meant a SOS, stab on sight, decree. Thrilling detail, their manifesto, the King Manifesto, read like a revolutionary charter, demanding education reforms and anti-poverty programs, but masked the budding empire of extortion rackets, shaking down local businesses for protection fees as low as $50 a week, turning into thousands. From those humble roots, the Kings swelled to thousands, their crown graffiti claiming turf like a conqueror's flag. Rise of the empire, from streets to syndicates. As the 70s and 80s roared in, the Latin Kings metastasized like a virus, leaping from Chicago's concrete jungle to infect New York, Florida, and beyond. Becoming one of the largest Hispanic gangs in the U.S., with estimates of 20,000 to 35,000 members nationwide by the 90s. Their activities? A deadly cocktail of drug trafficking, flooding streets with heroin, cocaine, and later fentanyl, raking in millions through alliances with Mexican cartels, extortion rings that squeezed mom-and-pop shops dry, and murders that stacked bodies like cordwood. Take the infamous 1986 Crown Council purge. Internal rivals were hunted down in a wave of executions, bodies dumped in alleys with crowns carved into their flesh as warnings. Notoriety peaked with high-profile hits, like the 1995 assassination of a rival gang leader in broad daylight, sparking a Chicago gang war that claimed over 100 lives in a single summer. Structure was their secret weapon, modeled like a corporation with a supreme Inca at the helm, regional crown councils enforcing the Constitution, and prison chapters pulling strings from behind bars. Initiation? A brutal rite. Recruits endured violations, beatings lasting 3 minutes by 5 members, or love taps for women, followed by oaths sworn on a Bible wrapped in the gang's colors. Ex-member testimonies, like those from King Blood and insider accounts, reveal the codes. Amor de Rey, King Love, as a greeting, but cross the line, snitch, steal dues, or sleep with a brother's woman, and face termination via a 5-point violation, 5 bullets to the head. It's a thriller's blueprint, power centralized, loyalty absolute, and expansion relentless, even crossing oceans to Ecuador by 2025, where they've morphed into a diffuse and multifaceted criminal force amid prison riots and turf battles. If these hidden hierarchies and blood oaths have you hooked on the shadows of street empires, why not dive deeper? Subscribe to at Behind Veil Truths on YouTube for more unmasked investigations that pull no punches. Blood and bullets, notable shadows and takedowns. The Latin Kings saga is littered with jaw-dropping chapters that read like pulp noir. Flash to 1997, federal Operation Broken Crown crashes down like a hammer, nabbing over 30 high-ranking kings in Chicago, including Lord Gino himself, slapped with a life sentence for orchestrating 20 murders from his prison throne. Or the 2008 New York bust, 75 members rounded up in a RICO sweep, accused of running a $1 million a month heroin ring while plotting hits on witnesses, bodies found in trunks, throats slit as examples. Sensational fact. In prison, they rule with manifestos smuggled via coded letters, turning cell blocks into fiefdoms where shanks decide disputes. Fast forward to 2025. Echoes of their grip persist, with HSI's Project Southbound netting 638 gang arrests across 145 crews, including Latin Kings operatives caught in drug hauls and extortion webs spanning 179 cities. And in Ecuador, they've evolved into a prison powerhouse, clashing with rivals in massacres that left dozens decapitated, their crowns spray-painted on bloodied walls. Members like Antonio King Tone Fernandez, who briefly reformed the New York chapter into a political group in the 90s before reverting to crime, embody the duality, activist by day, kingpin by night. The crown's eternal shadow. What lurks beneath as I close this dossier, one riddle burns. In a world where gangs like the Latin Kings outlast empires, blending street smarts with corporate cunning, how many more crowns hide in plain sight? Their story isn't over. It's a living beast, feeding on poverty's fringes and power's vacuum. If this detective dive into their gilded cage of crime has you craving the next uncracked case, hit subscribe at Behind Veil Truths on https://www.youtube.com or at Behind Veil Truths. We're hunting the veils that shroud our streets. Join us before the shadows claim another throne. What's the next gang empire waiting to be exposed? Drop your leads below.